Hi, welcome back. This video is going to be about string literals in JavaScript ES6. So, a string can be a collection of characters enclosed within single quote or double quote is the traditional way of representing a string. So, when I run this code, it will just print a string value. So, this is traditional way of representing a string. Then what is string literals? It is modern way of representing a string which is supported by JavaScript ES6. So string literals is nothing but a string enclosed within backticks. This is called as backticks. So instead of this double quotes, I can use this backticks and which makes the string as string literals. So there is difference between both. Difference between the behavior of both. Let me explain. So both gives you same kind of output, but what is the difference? So there are three different features that are supported by string literals. They are multi-line string, string interpolation, and tagged templates. So we will go one by one. So how can I use multi-line strings? For example, in the traditional way, if I use double quotes, I'll get an error. If I use double quotes and use multi-line string, press enter after a word and type the string continuously, it will throw an error. But in case of this string literals, that is backticks used, I can enter any number of lines of strings. And if I if I print the value, it will just get printed. See? So this is the first special feature of string literals. So you don't need to use escape sequences, escape characters in order to use multi-line strings. This is first feature of string literals. So second feature, string interpolation. String interpolation is nothing but adding expressions inside a string. For example, so I have a welcome string here. I want this variable value to be added here. So in the traditional method, how we will add it? For example, hi, then we will use concatenation operator, then we will use the variable name, again then concatenation operator, and again. So this is the traditional way of concatenation, or traditional way of using expressions or variables inside a string, which is directly concatenating a string. This method is called as ugly concatenation, which is not an efficient way to use. When it comes to this string literals, we can straight away directly use an expression or a variable inside a string when it is used with backticks. Dollar operator and then braces. Inside that you can specify the variable name. When you print the string, you will get the variable embedded inside this string and printed. You can see the output. So the variable value has been embedded inside this string. This is string interpolation. Coming back to the last and important part of the string literals. Tagged templates. Tagged templates is a method function to process a string literal. Let me explain. So I'm just creating a function. So tagged template function will have a specific structure. So function name can be anything and keyword should be function. It will have two parameters, strings and rest operator values. So this is fixed syntax of function that processes string literals. So what is this strings and what is this values? Let me explain. So before explaining this, let me explain what is static part of a string and what is dynamic part of a string. So I have declared three variables and I am going to add these three variables as an expression to a string. Welcome and welcome right. So I'm just adding this string just for explanation. So in this string, what is the static part of this string? If you take this string, after removing all the expressions, we are left with the static part of the string. And what is the dynamic part of the string? Person1, person2 and person3. So what this tagged template function will do is it will receive the static part of the function separately and the dynamic part of the function separately, both as array. So it will receive this part comma this part comma this part as an array, for example, and this as an array. This will be received in the name of strings and this will be received in the name of values. So this is the fixed syntax of a function that is going to process a string literal. Now we will pass this string directly to this function and let's see what output we are getting. So how to call a function that processes string literal? So directly function name followed by the string literal. That's it. If you run this code, I am just printing the strings value separately and values separately. So string value will be an array and again values will be an array. You could see this static part of the string separately printed and the dynamic part of the string, which is represented by the expressions, separately printed. So this is how we can process a string literals using tagged templates. But what is the special or specific use case with this tagged template? I can tell you. For example, if you want to make the values alone in a bold or strong font type or in HTML, or even for example, let's take even simpler. I just wanted to make these dynamic values or make these values alone to uppercase. I can specifically do that. Let's say for let I equal to 0, I less than dot length So we are going to iterate each values of the array. So or even if I want to just add these strings, yes, so I will just strings of I plus for example a single space and then plus I can make these values of I to uppercase. So I'm just concatenating each iteration of the string with static value space the dynamic value, and that dynamic value specifically changed it to uppercase. So let's see what output we are getting after the loop iteration is completed. You could see all the values of the person 1, 2 and 3 was lowercase initially, and after this tagged template processing, all the names is converted into uppercase. So these are the in-depth explanation of tagged templates and all the other string literal features. Hope this video is informative. Thanks for watching and keep supporting.